Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to be here with you and to talk about the process of how you can turn your ideas into something real and something that makes you make money. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing my screen so that way I can introduce myself with illustrations. Okay, so I'm sure everybody, are you able to see my screen? Okay, so this workshop is about vision to action, from vision to action, building your business, your winning. What's happening with me today? From vision to action, building your winning business plan. So once again, many entrepreneurs, you will ask yourself, like, do I need a business plan or no? I know how to do a business, or I have seen people starting a business, but when you are starting your own business or you have these ideas, it's like, where do I start? That's why it's important to have a business plan, because a business plan is like your roadmap to your business. So it's putting all the ideas together, because I'm sure it happens to you sometimes when you have an idea. I'm sure you are no sleeping because you are thinking about how you're going to do this, how you're going to start doing that idea, how you're going to put it in process, right? So you can start working on it. But the best way to do it is when you have a tool like a business plan where you can start putting your ideas in there. And when you start putting your ideas, you will see like, oh my God, I need to fill up these spaces, right? Like, because you say, well, I'm selling cupcakes, just for example. I'm selling cupcakes and I want to start my business in a bakery probably, or just selling cupcakes. So you have to start thinking about like what is going to be the process. What do you need to start selling cupcakes? Because it's not the same when you are doing for family or friends or for a small event than when you're doing in a business, right? Because you have to stay taking a lot of things in consideration. And we're going to be talking about that in a second. So once again, my name is Erika Gonzalez, and I'm the Executive Director at 36 Square Business Incubator. We're partners with BICP and CIBC Bank. So let me introduce you about 36 Square. So our mission at 36 Square Business Incubator is to empower entrepreneurs of all abilities to start and grow their business. Our goal is to boost economic growth, foster innovation, and offer high quality resources and information to all, regardless of ethnicity, gender, background, or abilities. Supporting entrepreneurs of all abilities is our motto. This is some of our team. My colleague Andrew Fogarty, he is the founder of 36 Word Business Incubator, but also the SBDC Director of Small Business Development Center. And you can see Naomi Rojas, also my other colleague, business advisor and marketing and events coordinator. They're amazing. So, what do we do at 36 Square? You will ask, right? So, we offer the great things about these programs that we have is that are at no cost to you, thanks to the funding and support from BICP. So, we offer one-on-one business advising. So, right now is a general session, and you will see like how your ideas fit into this session. But also, I encourage you to have one-on-one. It can be with me or with another partner organization that is focusing in businesses, because with us we can sit with you, hear your ideas, and give you resources that you can have for to make your business a reality. Access to capital, for example, or just to start putting your ideas together in one business plan. Okay, so we offer free one-on-one business advising. We do constantly outreach. So when you see 36 Square Business Incubator, you know that it's about us. When you see our logo, when you see like in the expo, we're part of the expos that Chicago offers. Make sure you stop by our booths so to talk about your business with us. So we do a lot of outreach to entrepreneurs of all abilities. We have, because we're a business incubator, we offer some workspace. We share the workspace. No cost to you. Right now we're full, but if you need any support with that, let me know. We can set up we can schedule a meeting and talk about these opportunities. We do free business focused trainings and workshops like this one. Something that makes us different from other partner organizations is that we have an annual Boost Awards for disabled entrepreneurs. This awards is a seed of funding for entrepreneurs with disabilities. And this year we started the extending this program to also caregivers of a loved one with disability. So stay tuned with us and learn about this program that is going to be open next year, probably in March or April. So stay tuned for that. Another beautiful thing that we have is the annual Women Business Networking event. So we host an annual Women Business Networking event. This is our third year, and it's a beautiful event for women where we empower women. Once again, all abilities, all ethnicities, and it's a beautiful group. And I hope you can join us in the next one. We're part of the City of Chicago Neighborhood Business Development Center. We are an Illinois Small Business Development Center. We are part of the Cook County Source BSO, and we support entrepreneurs in different ways, but also we help you to have access to capital through our lender networking. Like, for example, CIBC Bank is one of our partner organizations, and where we connect you with them directly and other partners that we have for you to have access to capital. Something I forgot to mention. If you have any questions, please it's hard for me to see who is on the or raising their hands, but feel free to mute yourself. I'm happy to sometimes, if you're like me, like if I have an idea, I don't want to wait because I will lose my idea. Feel free to mute yourself and ask me any questions. Once again, we are here to support you and to answer your questions. Okay, so to start now, let's move into to start your business in Chicago. What do you need? It's important that you define your business. And once again, you can say, oh, I want to open a restaurant. Just an example. You can say, well, I want to open a restaurant. Okay, define what type of food do you want to say. Well, you want to say, oh, I want to sell Mexican food or Chinese food or American breakfast, right? And you can say, okay, but what kind of food? What kind of be more specific. The more specific will be easier for you because you will be starting closing and closing and getting more targeted into the things that you want them to business to focus on. But once again, it's important that you define your business. Also, we have some entrepreneurs that say, well, I want to open a trucking business, but also I want a construction business and I want a cafe. So when you have three ideas, there are three different niches, three different areas, and it's important that you decide which one do you want to focus. Each business requires full attention, especially when you are starting the business. So it's important that you define what is the one that you want the most. It's important that you learn about all the resources available because that way you don't feel that you have to carry with everything. Just by having a one-on-one session with any advisor, that is a huge help. And once again, many of the partners organizations don't charge for this one-on-one consulting. So take advantage of that. Sometimes there is available access to capital for you in the way that, for example, you wanna, and I can talk about this later, but there are grants from the city, like Chicago Recovery Grant, Neighborhood Opportunity Fund, that they can give you funding. Like, for example, you acquire a property to rehab this property and adequate it to your business. Once again, there are many resources available. So we can talk about this later if you want. So write the business plan. We can help you with that process. We can give you a template. We can guide you because at the end, I cannot write a business plan because it's your ideas, your passion about it, all the things that you know about your business. You are the expert on the field. So what we can do is help you and guide you into what are the next steps, so that way you don't feel lost. Define your business structure. Like, do you want to be a sole proprietor? Do you want to be a do you want to have an LLC? Do you want to have a corporation? Obviously, we encourage you to do all of that, but we're going to be talking about that, why it's important to have a structure into your business, because it's a protection for you and your personal assets. We can guide you in how to obtain your business EIN number. It's like a social security number for your business, and that's for the tax purposes. Open a business checking account, obtain your business license, start your business. So even though we're talking about all these process and you say, oh, that's easy, right? Define my business. I know I want a coffee shop. Now, let's talk about the resources that are available. I want to write my business plan, get funding and a structure. And so all these steps, right? But once again, everything has a is compound of different items that you need to put in each area. Okay, and once again, we can help you with all these process, and that's why I said connect with your local organization, and you can do this at any point. You can do it before you start your business, during your business, or even when you have your business ready. So it's important that you have somebody that can guide you, because remember, not all businesses are run the same way. Each business is unique. Even though you might say all the taquerias, all the restaurants, all the coffee shops are the same. No, they might sell coffee, they might sell sandwiches, they might sell this, but each one has is something that makes them different. So that's why, though, not because the compadre or a friend or somebody tell you, oh, this is what I did for my business and it works perfectly, because it might not be the best thing for you, for your business, for tax purposes, or for everything else. So that's why it's important to have somebody that that you can trust, that doesn't want anything on return from you, right? Okay, what is a business plan? Once again, as I mentioned before, is the roadmap for your business. It's like a blueprint for your business. That is a business plan, and it's ideal for you even if you have established a business already. It's good that you have a business plan, because a business plan, if you, for some reason you have to leave, or if you want to expand to open a second location, you have already a business plan and you already know what you have to do. So sorry. So that's why it's important to have a business plan. So once again, a business plan is a written document that explains in detail where your business is, where it's going, and how it will get there. Once again, a roadmap. It is essentially uh, showing your goals, strategies, how you're going to be doing this to achieve those goals, etc. Um, I'm looking at some questions. Can you please give the name of the women's business organization? We're 36 Square Business Incubator, and we have a women's event, which is the networking event. And it says, "Can you speak on corporate records book?" We can talk about this in a second. Okay. Um, Financial operational details. So once again, a business plan helps you with all of that. Okay. So how this starts? You have an idea. Also, feel free to please put in the chat what kind of business would you like to start, so we can use some examples. So you can start, getting ideas about how to have your business. So once again, if you want to start a trucking business, a consulting business, coffee shop, wherever you want, right? So you start with your business idea. So it's important to start thinking, do I want a physical space? Do I want something that I can do from home? Do I want something that I can use some share space? Because remember, every step that has to do with your business is related to money, to funding, right? Is this idea going to work? Yes, no, what will be next? And this is part of the business plan. So looking rental property, good. Cheesecake, I love that. Therapy group, awesome. Construction, general contractor, great. Okay. Property leasing, okay. Clothing boutique, beautiful. Interior design, oh my god, I love to hear about all these businesses. Massage therapy, okay. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I love that, because once again, that is going to help me to start with these business ideas, right? Once again, well, for example, physical therapy or massage, for example. You say, well, I want to start my physical therapy business. Okay, for this type of business, you will need certain equipment, right? There are many ways that you can start your business. You can find a location because you want people to come to your location. But also right now many people is getting new ideas, right? Many people are doing, even they're making their business mobile. I know it sounds crazy, right? But they're making it mobile because for some challenges, for some other people, it's difficult for them to go out. If you pay attention, like for example, some of the nail salon, nail salon, you can find many nail salons everywhere. But many of them are start getting like the mobile nail salon. Like for example, you bring a group of people, they can bring a group of people to your house and they can do your nails in your home. I mean, they might charge you a little extra, but if you have your family there or friends, you can make even a party. And once again, it changes the business, the type of business that they have. But once again, it's an idea, right? Um, Selling jewelry, handmade, health insurance, brokerage, okay. Vintage store, nice. Natural juices, awesome. Awesome. I'm an existing business. Even though you have an existing business, I'm so glad that you are here because once again, everything has to do like if there is anything or anything that you can do in your business to refresh your ideas. Okay, so that's why it works. So once again, business idea is always good to think is gonna work, yes or no, and how much is gonna cost, right? Everything is about money. Okay, key points about the business plan. Once again, define the business. Because in the business plan, you have to say, like, what kind of products or services do you offer? Who are your customers? And what makes you different from everybody else? Remember what I told you, every business is unique, and it is true. If you go from, just think about this, and I'm talking about food, I think I'm getting hungry. If you, everybody loves tacos, right? Or everybody loves cheeseburgers. For example, you go to a pizzeria. You go to Giordano's, it's not the same pizza from Giordano's than from Domino's. It's not the same pizza, or even though they might have even the same ingredients, it doesn't taste the same Domino's from Pizza Hut, right? Or from any other local pizzeria. Just think about that. And they are selling pizzas, but everyone has something that is unique. Maybe some they're fast, some of them they are cheaper, some of them they are more elegant, or some of them they are giving you like a more family ambience in their restaurants. So everything makes them different, right, and unique. So always think about that. Think about that and take it in consideration, because that is going to help you start thinking about your own business, right? Once again, construction. You can say, "Well, I'm a contractor, so what makes you different from the other contractors? What do you offer to the customers or to the other businesses, right? Because there are many big constructions that they are looking for general contractors to bring other services. Like, for example, a construction company that is building uh, different condominiums, for example, and they're looking for general contractors that install kitchens, or they do tiling, or they do floors. So think about what you can offer them, right? What are the goals that you're offering your business? Is it, you might say, oh, all the businesses, big corporations, they have their mission, the vision, and their objectives. Don't think about that. Think about your own business, because in United States, the way they see business is like is one entity that has all these structures. So part of your structure is good to have a mission and vision and your objectives. And the mission is because what makes you the mission is what is the heart of your business, what makes you have the business. Because believe it or not, even though you are very passionate about the things that you do, it's not always about the money. Because when you love the things that you do, you can do it for free. Obviously, that's not the point. But you love to do this so much that you will be willing to do for free. Talk about that in your mission. Like, for example, you are making cupcakes. I'm making these cupcakes because I want to fulfill the nutritious and savory parts that customers are looking for. I want to make sure that my cupcakes, you know, etc., etc. I mean, once again, if you need help with the mission, let me know. But is more details. Is answer the question like, what is what I'm doing, for who I am doing, and what is the purpose of this, right? And the same for the vision. Like, what is your vision? What do you expect your business to go? How far is the vision? Like, for example, you can say, I want these cupcakes to be sell or to be known statewide, or in the whole United States, expand nationwide, things like that. And what are the goals, right? What are the goals that you want to have? Are you having the goal to reach certain amount? Are you having the goal to expand to 2 or 3 locations in the next 5 years, etc.? It can go anywhere, your goals, right? This business plan will help you guide the strategy. Like, for example, okay, I'm set up my business. I have already my mission. Now what I'm gonna do, right? How I'm gonna start selling? How people is going to know about my physical therapies that I'm offering? How they're going to know about my consulting? How do they know that I'm renting these spaces, right? So you have to have a marketing strategy, right? Because obviously, also another thing that you have to take in consideration, even though we say, yeah, we want to sell this to anyone, everyone, well, maybe not. Maybe, for example, you are renting condominiums. You just don't want anyone. You want people that is responsible to somebody that you can trust, that is going to be able to pay you monthly rent, right? So you are looking for a specific description of clients, like for what else? Any other business that you're having. Uh, Website developer. So you are looking for a specific client, right? You are looking for a client that even sometimes they might be able to challenge you, right? Like, okay, I want somebody to give me a good website design. Okay, what is the example? Or what is the challenge that I can bring you? What? So that motivates you to. So it's part of the strategy. Like how you're going to be selling or how you're going to market the products or services that you are offering. Who is going to be doing the sales, who is going to be running the operations of the business, what kind of staff do you need, is going to be family members involved, what is going to be their roles, right? What is going to be your role, what is the role of probably a partner that you have or business partner that you might have. It's important that you define that also in the business plan, so that's why it's very helpful to have a business plan. Also in the business plan you will have to include financials. What are the projections? What is the revenue? What is the expectation that I have in sales? Like I'm gonna tell you some a story quickly. My parents opened a restaurant a long time ago. It was called Gelatinas Cris, and in this restaurant the goal was to start just selling Jello because it's something that my parents they know how to do very well. So the goal was that they were going to do like Jello so they can sell. It was the initial idea to start selling to for example Pizza Market. Jello that they can do sell business to business. But when they start opening the business, my dad started calculating, okay, so in order for us to pay for the rent, we need to sell these many flans or these many coasters in order for us to start, covering the expenses. So you start thinking about it. What is the price that you're going to sell the product or services that you offer? What is the goal? How much money do you need to cover all the regular expenses? And remember, regular expenses means your salary, because it's one of the most mistakes that many entrepreneurs make. They don't pay themselves. So it's important that with the business, you have to have a salary or pay yourself. It can be by hour, it can be by salaries. I encourage you at least by salary. Like, for example, you can say, I can pay myself $100 if I work 6 days on the business. Okay, $600 times four is at least 2,400. That is going to be covering your personal expenses, so that way you're not withdrawing business money from the business. So, but once again, I don't want to get off the subject, but it's something that it has to do with the business plan. How much money you're going to be paying to the people that is involved in the business, right? It is part of the projections, is part of the revenue, is part of the money that you have to make out of the business, right? What are the expenses? Internet, do I pay? Even if you're working from home, you say, yeah, I'm not paying rent or anything. But remember, for tax purposes, you will be able to deduct some of the parts that you are using for office space in your taxes. Make sure you talk to an accountant about this, etc. Some of the expenses that are related to the business are tax deductible. So it's important that you take all of that in consideration, whether you use a physical space or you are working from home. Okay, so it's important to pay attention to those expenses. What is the profit that you're expecting to have? Like, for example, in massage therapy, if you say, well, typically a massage costs $50, for example, but I want a 25% profit, because if you are not there in the business and you have to hire somebody else, maybe you will pay to this person $30 or $40 an hour to cover when you are not able to do the physical therapy or the massage. So you will pay that person, but you are still doing the service, but you will have the money available there. You are taking in consideration that you have to pay somebody, and you're still covering some of the expenses like gas, transportation, etc. And um, you will be able to get your profit out of it. Like for example, if it costs you $50 to give a massage to a person, and you want a 25% margin of profit, so you will get the $50 plus the 25%, and that will be the final price that you give to your clients. Right. So it's a just a general way to start calculating how much you can charge for the services. Once again, we can talk directly because this industry is different. Um, so once again, the business plan includes financials. Um, Also, you need to start thinking about you need to secure a loan, right? Like for example, you need to buy equipment, and you have your savings. I encourage you that if you, I know it might sound like a little, you will be like, ah, Erika, I don't want to get in debt, but sometimes it's better to use like in many people are used to say, well, I don't like to be in debt. I prefer to save, and they pay everything in cash, right? And I encourage you not to do that way. I mean, obviously, it's everyone preference, of course. But it's good that you start, using financial institutions to start moving the money, because if you have your savings, you are not compromising all your savings in something that you're going to get a profit out of it, right? Because a loan is going to help you start managing money, but still you will have your savings, and you're not risking your savings, but you're using funding from lenders. Okay, once again, it's an option. I'm not saying that you have to do that, but I encourage you to start working on that, because that is also going to help you create credit for your business. If you start getting a loan, it doesn't have to be a big loan either, right? You can start with a line of credit, for example. Start moving the money. You can buy the equipment that you need without compromising your savings, and the money is going to come out of the business. That's the goal of using secure loans or line of credits, right? Maybe start thinking like, do you need to have investors into your business? Right? It's up to you, depending what kind of business do you have. Maybe, for example, you are going to set up like a construction company, and you need to buy equipment like a truck or specific equipment, like excavation, and it's a lot of money, and you have a partner, that business partner, that probably they might have the financial, that they can help you to buy that equipment. Maybe you can make an arrangement with those, to start, be able to start giving those, start running your business, and you don't have to wait until, start saving the money and start buying the equipment. Once again, it's an option, right? But once again, it is part of your business plan. Um, Also, it's important that your business plan is updated constantly, right? What are the changes? Because once again, even though it's set in a paper, it's not set in stone. So make adjustments as you go in the business plan. Any questions so far? Business lawyers? Yeah, it's important to have a business lawyer. Okay, so let's continue. Once again, if you feel that you prefer to mute yourself instead of the chat, that will be great too. Okay, so why are you writing your business plan, right? Many people write their business plans once because they want to define the structure of the business and put the roadmap to their business, but also to have access to capital, especially when you are a startup. Many lenders, they might ask you for a business plan. Once again, depending on the industry that you are, depending how much money you are looking for, they might ask you for a business plan because they want to see, in paper, what is your structure, what are your plans about your business, so they can start thinking and making the decision about whether or not they'll give you a loan. Okay, and they want to know about the operations. That is going to help you to also see what kind of team members do you need for your business, right? What kind of employees you need to hire. Who is going to read your business plan? Investors, potential investors, potential lenders, maybe business partners, maybe any like for example, once again, somebody that can help you to see if you're going in the right direction or not. And this is we will send you a template, okay? We will send you a template that is going to help you, guide you to the with the questions that are accordingly to for your business. Um, Once again, you will have a template that is going to help you with that. Okay, usually, and you will ask yourself, like, what are the elements that are in the business plan? Well, typically it's an executive summary. An executive summary is like a summary of the whole business in a few words. What do you do? What problem you're trying to solve? What is the basic strategy? What are the highlights of the business? Once again, usually many people is like they like to read the first page. It's like when you go and they ask you for when you are going to look for a job, they always ask you for a cover page, and the cover page is kind of a summary of the whole experience that you have and why you want to work there. So this is a kind of executive summary. What is the business about, and what is the big highlights of the business? Okay. The business plan has a company description. Why your business? What is the product or services that you offer? What is your mission? What is your vision? What is the legal structure? For legal structure, for you to make a decision about this, I encourage you to consult with an accountant or a business lawyer. And it's important that you speak with the experts because they are going to guide you according to the business that you have. They might tell you, don't listen all the time because the people might say, oh, you need to start an LLC. Well, are you sure you need an LLC? Maybe a corporation. What about making a small corporation? Or what about if you do another kind of a structure? So it's important that you speak with experts to get the best guidance, okay? Especially if you have an accountant that you can trust because they can tell you, okay, you are doing retail. I suggest you to do a corporation instead of an LLC. Once again, I'm throwing just examples, okay? I'm not the expert in accounting. I'm not a lawyer. So I'm not giving you that advice. I can tell you the difference between one another. But once again, I encourage you to always check with an accountant and check with a lawyer. You need referrals to a lawyer. I can happily refer you to any lawyer or an accountant. But once again, you make a decision who you want to work with. We don't have any contracts with anybody, but because our job is to give you resources, okay, and referrals. So we can do that for you. Sorry. So once again, for the legal structure, I encourage you to consult with them. CPA, consultant, I'm sorry, an accountant, and a business lawyer. It's important that you define what is the goals and objectives of your business, right? Use the company description to provide detailed information about your company. Uh, Detail, it doesn't mean that you have to go in extra detail, but give enough information to the reader so they understand what is the description of your business. Okay. Any questions so far? Yes, we're open to. Um, Sorry, I'm reading the question from Kat. Is the incubator and resources open to trans and non-binary folks? Yes. As I mentioned at the beginning, our mission is to support entrepreneurs of all abilities, regardless of the gender, and everything else. So yes, we're open to everyone who needs support. Okay. We will share the recording again if you want to see this information. But once again, if you have any questions and you would like to have one-on-one, I'll share my information, my email, so you can schedule one-on-one. We can schedule one-on-one. Okay. Company description. We talk about this now. Organization and management. This is super important. You might say, well, Erica, I'm the consultant. I already know my field. I do business. I do website design. I'm the expert on this. But what about you need an assistant? What about you need to hire another website designer that is going to help you with more projects, right? You are going to be the head of the corporation. You are going to be the president. You are going to be the one who make the decisions and who is going to be next, right? So it's important that you define what is the organization and the management. tell you reader in your business plan, right? What is going to be the structure of the company. Describe the legal structure of your business, like whether you have to intend a corporate business, either a C corporation or a small corporation, or a limited partnership, or you are sole proprietorship, or you want to start an LLC. And also who is going to be managing, who is in charge of the structure of the organization, the leadership. Do a market in also part of the organization and management is important that you define, right? This is my legal structure, and this is how we're going to be managing this business. I'm going to be the president, and I'm going to make most of the decision, but this is my team, right? This is my board members, etc. Now, market research. It's important that you do a market research about where you're selling your business, right? Where you are offering your products and your services. Who are your customers? Just a quick example. And I saw this. The value of a water bottle. If you are in a, just think about this. How much it costs you a water bottle when you are outside a train station? Like $2, right? Sometimes. When you are in a supermarket, $1 maybe. When you are on some attractions, $3 or $4, right? When you are in a concert, $5. So it's important that you know when you're selling your products or services, because you have to go where they're going to pay you for the most value for your products or services, right? That would be the ideal. But it still is important that you see where you want to establish your business, or who is going to be your target clients. So it's important to understand the market, right? In size, in demographics, and behavior, right? Once again, who has the economic acquisition to buy your products, right? What are the industry trends? What are the projections? Like risk drivers. What is people motivated to buy or obtain your services or products that you are offering? Who are your competitors, direct or indirect? You have seen like restaurants that are one next to another, and they say, "Well, I'm selling tacos," and the other one, "Well, I'm selling cheeseburgers," or "Well, I'm selling pizzas." Well, there are three different restaurants, but at the end, they're competing with the same clients, right? Because the client might say, "Well, I'm not going to be eating cheeseburgers all the time," or "I'm not going to be eating tacos all the time." So they're competing with the same clients. So what once again, who are the competitors? What makes you different from everybody else? Um, Check the demand. If there is a desire for your product or services. Once again, everything is about location, location, location. And those who are in real estate know that, right? Always location, location, location is the most important. Once again, you're selling online. What are the platforms that you're going to use to market your business? You're selling physically in a brick and mortar. What are the best areas where you can start your business, etc. So once again, always look what is the best area for you to start your business. Market size. How many people will be interested in your offerings, right? Economic indicators. What is the income range and the employment rate in the area where you want to start your business? Once again, location. Where do your customers live and where can your business reach, right? Market saturation. How many similar options are already available to your customers? Once again, nail salons, right? We see nail salons everywhere. I'm so sorry. But if you see a location that you say, well, this is a new and development area, I think I have the opportunity to have my nail salon right here. Or if you are offering tutoring classes, maybe you can offer it online. Maybe you can offer it in a brick and mortar in an area like, for example, in a mall. That's very attractive, right? Because they say, well, the mom can leave the kid in the tutoring class while I go shopping. An hour goes right fast. So, but the kid is learning while I'm doing my shopping. Once again, that's a very good strategy, isn't it? Once again, think about outside the box. Think about how other customers, what are the potential customers can find you, how you can make things convenient for them. So once again, it's important that you see also Another strategy that I can recommend you right now that came to my mind is that think what others are doing. One big example is McDonald's. One big example is Walmart. One other big example is Starbucks. Right? What strategies do they use to start attracting so many customers? Right? So always pay attention to that. Like Subway. What are the strategies that they use to attract more customers? The gyms, right? They to exercise. What strategies do they use? Always think about that for your business, because even though it might be a different industry, they still have to use different strategies to attract customers. Referrals, likes, videos, TikToks. Um, when they are teaching, right? They are once again strategies. So it's important that you know who are your customers, where you are going to be putting your business. Pricing. What do potential customers pay for these alternative services or products that you are offering? Just think about, once again, cupcakes. There are so many cupcakes already. But if you want to sell cupcakes, what makes them different? What will be the price? Always compare what are the prices, for example, from uh pound cake. That's the name. I'm sorry, I forgot the name. The cupcakes, uh businesses, the bakeries, right? What are the price and all of them? Buy from each one, like, buy or acquire the services from your competitors, and see what do they offer, what can you incorporate into your business and put it in your business plan. Once again, it's fair to do something similar that others are doing. Why not? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's just see what others are doing that you can incorporate into your business. Products and services. What exactly you are offering? What are the features? What are the benefits? Pricing, strategies, development stage. You are still planning on well, this is the food that I want to be selling. This is how I want to be selling these products, etc. Do you have any intellectual property that you want to protect? It's important that you speak with a lawyer. uh, Future improvements, etc. Like, just look at the example here. Like, if you want to sell peanuts or chocolate, what packaging are you using? Are you using the same as everybody else, or you're using something different? So everything has to do with how you make it attractive to the customers. Operations and logistics, operational plan, how the business will run day to day, right? What is going to be the schedule that you're going to be available? Who's going to be running what shift? What is the location? What is the facilities? Who's going to be managing what? What is the supply chain? Who are your vendors? Um, Manufacturing, if it is applicable to your business. Staffing, what are the roles? What are the responsibilities? Who are the key people? Uh, Keeping a record of even your suppliers, etc. So operation is super, 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 super important, because if you think about it, you want the products or services to be the same way. And what I refer to the same way is, for example, when you go to McDonald's, you already know what you are expecting from McDonald's. When you go to um to Starbucks, you already know what kind of coffee. When you go to Dunkin' Donuts, you already know what kind of coffee do you want. You already know what is going to taste like. So you change suppliers, you change vendors, you change any process, it might change, so it might affect the results and your customers, you might lose customers. So it's important you create a very structural operational plan for your business, because you want to make sure that you have everything that client is expecting to have from you. Marketing and sales. Once again, talking about marketing, how you plan to reach to customers, channel promotions, advertising. What is going to be the sales process, distribution, customer acquisition, etc. Maybe you want to create like a loyalty plan, a program, or um, I don't know, like Starbucks, for example. They say, "Oh, I'm going to give you a reloadable card where you can just add funds every time that you want." So loyal programs that they can give you something for free at the end after certain purchases, etc. So you, once again, use them as an example. What is your positioning and your branding? the colors, the structure, the design. Now there are so many free resources where you can even yourself you can design your own logo. You can create your own marketing items, but it's good to always count with an expert, right? Like somebody that can help you and guide you in areas that maybe you are not an expert, but you can play around. But it's still you have somebody that can help you and guide you through that. Like Canva is one of the free resources that are available online. It's limited when you have it for free, but you don't need to buy it. Don't buy it. But it's still AI. There's a lot of resources with AI. Once again, about AI is I love AI because I'm not really good in many things. But AI, you always pay attention to the things that AI is giving you. Because remember, AI doesn't know you, even though they say it will. It knows you. It's not true. So always verify the information that they give you. Always read it through it. Make sure that is what you're looking for. Make sure that is what you want. Make sure that is something that you can use, because they just grab everything from the internet. But if it's something that is protected, you might get in trouble. So always verify everything that you are using from AI. Okay, but yeah, use it. I always use it. So once again, marketing and sales, it's important that you know and describe how you're going to be selling your products and your services, and what strategies are you using. Um, there are common startup costs, right? Because you're going to say, okay, Erika, so I'm ready with all my business. What are the costs that I'm going to have in my business? There is always cost for everything that you are doing in your business, right? For example, you are using a location, office space, equipment. What kind of equipment? Maybe, for example, you are a website designer. Maybe you might need a printer. Maybe you might need a better computer system, or a better computer. Um, Communications, cell phone, right? Um, Internet. What kind of internet you need is not the same as you use at home. Maybe you need something with more potential. Utilities, right? Those are part of expenses. License and permits, insurance, lawyers and accountants, inventory. You have inventory. Like most of the business have inventory, with the exception consultants, but they have a less inventory, but still they have a little bit. But for example, you are retail, everything that has to do with your business, like hangers, all the expenses that you have to do with your business, mannequins, countertops, all those expenses you have to put it in consideration. Um, Employee salaries. Once again, always take in consideration a salary. Put a number that is affordable for your business, but also is affordable for you as the business owner, so you can cover your personal expenses. um, how much money you are planning to expend in advertising and marketing. Are you doing marketing research? For marketing research, use AI, right? It's free. So they can help you. For example, you say, well, I want to start my physical therapy in downtown, in the South Loop, for example. You can ask AI, hey, help me research how many physical therapists are in this area on the South Loop. What are the addresses? And then start looking into these businesses, see the area, the perimeter, to see where you would like to start your business, what is not too close to them, but also not too far away from customers, etc. Um, Print and marketing materials, like you are going to print some flyers or advertising, how much is going to cost you. Marketing and website, how much is going to cost you to just to save the name for your website, but also the website design. When you have a website design, I encourage you to be involved. Even if you ask somebody to do it for you, make sure you have the password, make sure you have the login information, make sure you know how to do, add or remove things from your website, in case the person that is designing this website for you, for some reason, is not available and you need to put something into your website. Make sure that you know all this information. You have access to all of this. Software cost to the list, that's a big one. Yes, thank you, Kat, for sharing. Soft cost, like you are making and you are designing your space and you are asking, paying for an architect to create your design or for any expenses. Yes. Oh, well, there's information from Renata. She has an accounting firm. Thank you, Renata, for sharing that information. We should connect, Renata. Okay. Any questions so far? And I appreciate everyone to put any comments to make this webinar even more interactive. Okay, so this is a more it's another example, right? How you can define your expenses, right? Well, that's why it's so important to put it in writing. And in writing can be a piece of paper or electronically, obviously. But it's so important to have it this way because now you're more conscious about the expenses. Because sometimes, even if just think about it, there are people who are super organized. I'm not too organized sometimes in my home. But when you are organized and you say, well, this is how much I want to pay in my rent, this is how much I'm going to pay for utilities, this is how much I have to pay with phone. And when you start adding everything up, oh my God, you get scared about how much money you need for your business or even in personal way, right? Like how much you need a month to survive or to start living the way you live. Because also in the expenses, you have to start thinking, for example, many construction companies, they say, well, I pay lunch for my employees. That's an expense that you have to consider because even I remember when I used to have a restaurant. In the restaurant, I used to say, oh, yeah, my employees can have their lunch and they can have their drink. And many of them, they used to get like a grab, like a Coke or a drink, right? So what happened is like I didn't pay attention that all of those expenses were adding up, and at the end of the month, it was a lot of money. Because just think about this: $1 a month is $31, $31 a month just for one person. Imagine or multiply that for three, four, five people. So it's adding up, and then plus if you are adding the lunch. Okay, so we can talk about the strategies also about like when you're running your business, what can you do to start, helping business, helping your employees, but at the same time, something that doesn't cost you too much. But once again, going back to define your expenses in your business, professional services, employees, supplies, marketing, miscellaneous, like gasoline, transportation, you know even clothing for your employees. You're buying like vests or you're buying equipment, safety equipment, etc. Anything that you need for your business, you have to put it in a budget. You have to put it in consideration because once again, just write it down. Like once again, if you are expert in massage therapy or physical therapy, you know what you need. A specific, probably some specific lotions, specific oils, a specific towels, for example, a specific cleaners, a specific equipment, the computer system, um, etc. Once again, a specific software, everything that you need, put it in there. And once again, at the end, you will be able to see how much money do you need. So that's why it's important to have a budget for to start your business because that way you will know. Okay, now how much money do I have? How much money do I have in my credit cards? How much money do I can get in a bank if I ask for a loan? Like once again, you are buying a location, brick and mortar, and it's something that you need to redo all the interiors, how much it's going to cost you, what resources are available to put that in consideration, and if I don't have the resources, what can I have or what can I have done. Okay, so you once again you can start projecting, well, if I'm planning to open this business in 6 months, well, depending if I have access to this capital, it might take a little longer, it might take a little shorter than that. Okay. Fund requests, how much do you need? Once again, if you put everything in a budget, it will be easier for you to know how much do you need, right? How will be using those monies, this funding? Also, you have to start thinking like if you have investors, okay, what are they getting in return for investing with you? What will be the exit strategy? Like, for example, somebody can say, You might have wealthy friends. I don't. Or at least I don't, I'm never asking for funding, but you have wealthy friends, make sure you introduce them to me. But you have wealthy friends. Maybe they want to be investors in your business. So what you can do is ask him, okay, you want to be investor for a year, for example. Okay, I'm going to put this money. I want you to pay me this much money and then return this money for me. This is kind of a exit strategy. Obviously, whatever you decide with these investors, but once again, they want to see what will they will have in return. So it's important that you have a clear outline for that. Clearly explain how much funding you'll need over the next, for example, 5 years, right? Or whatever amount of time you need. You need to give yourself enough time so you don't feel the pressure that you have to pay this too soon. Because at the end, remember, you have to run the business. And even though the ideal is, oh, the first day I'm going to start selling like crazy, it might be working the first day, but over the time, it might slow down, or maybe it slows down at the beginning and little by little it's going to be increasing. You don't know the behavior in your business until you start working on it, right? Because once again, you might create a lot of excitement for people to start going into your business, and it can go like that. But for good or bad, it's never flat. It goes back and up and down, up and down. That's the way it works in the business. In the business plan, when you're asking for funding requests, give a detailed description on how you use the funding. Like don't say, oh, I need the funding because I need vacation because I'm too stressed of planning how to start my business because they're not to give you the money. So make sure you put the description of how you're going to use you will be using this funding. Okay, so be something rational. Don't put something that is not real. Always include a description of your future strategy, financial plans, like paying a debt or selling your business, right? Why not? There are many people who like to start businesses, and after they establish it, because they don't want to be running the business, but they know how to structure a business, they sell it. There are some people like that. Now, financial projections. You might say, ah, Erika, how can I project my how much I'm going to be selling if I haven't started yet? Well, it's important that you say, well, if my goal is to make, for example, $1,000 per day, well, my goal is that I'm going to be selling this number of products, and this number of products are going to be costing this much. And if I sell this number of products, I'm going to be able to make this $1,000, for example. Just an example. And you can say, well, okay, so this is the way that you're going to be started creating. So you say if I sell in $1,000, so it means that in a month I'm going to be selling $32,000. It means that at the end of the year I'm going to be selling this much money. Okay. Once again, it's just a projection based on whatever you have already structured. Obviously, you have to back up your projections with reality, right? Don't go crazy so high, but don't be too low either. It's something that it has to be realistic, right? Is in case you are working in your business plan and your business is already established, include some income statements or balance sheet, and this one you can get it from your accountant, and also I mean the bank they can help you with that, with some they can help you with I'm sorry, your accountant can help you with the balance sheets and the income statements, the cash flow statements and the last 3 to 5 years. If you have collateral, you could put against a loan. Make sure that is something that is available that they will take it. This is a good place when you're talking about the financial projections for your business plan, to use graphics or charts to tell financial story of your business. You have the business already established. Um, once again, what is the sales forecast, profit and loss statement, cash flow, balance sheets, etc. So it's important that you start planning on this. And typically, an accountant can help you with this, or once again, if you need support, I can help you with this too. Appendix in the business plan is when you are able to put, like, for example, you have your certifications or the special ed services that you have, or your education, um, any recommendations, letters of support from the alderman. For example, you want to open a brick and mortar, the alderman has they can give you a letter of recommendations. your resume, products, pictures, something that supports what kind of business you have, right? Or you want to start. If you have any patents or any legal documents, permits, etc. That's important to put it in there in the appendix. Some of the helpful resources that you have available in the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois is the Illinois Small Business Development Center. Once again, the SBDCs are different programs by the state, funded by the state, that can give you free resources. Yes, you hear it right. Free resources and no charge for you. And one are SBDCs, so we can help you once again with your business plan, coaching, connect you with lenders, etc. Many resources that are available at no cost to you. There is international trade centers. There are many in the state that, for example, you are selling products that you would like to sell internationally. They can help you. They can help you with the funding. They can help you. For example, you say, well, I'm going to sell t-shirts in Spain. Well, they can help you, with the process of the money, trades, etc. Once again, they are experts in this area, so they can answer your questions about international trades. There is called procurement technical assistance centers. They are called Apex Accelerator. These are also free of charge for you, and this is programs that are paid by the federal government, and they help you to get your certifications. I know probably you have heard about, oh, I have my certification as a minority, or I get my certification as a woman. It's not just bringing your birth certificate and you say I'm a woman. I was born as a woman or something like that. It's just a process that has to go through the to demonstrate that you are part of a minority, or that you are part of a disability, or you are part of a certain group, that they can give you a certification. Once again, they are the experts. I will connect you. I can happily connect you with any of them, or you can just go straightly to the just Google Apex near me, Apex Accelerator or Procurement Technical Assistance near me, and they can give you the list of the programs that are close to your area. Chicago Neighborhood Business Development Center, NBTCs, the program that is bringing you this webinar to you. We're regional business centers, Cook County Small Business Source. Cook County also create their own program that also, once again, all these resources are for you and no charge. The Cook County Small Business Source, that they can give you resources, workshops, webinars, technical assistance, etc. Chicago City Hall is where you can go and talk about your business license, get support about your business. And trust me, the office, the people in the City Hall is amazing, because they tell you exactly what do you need to get your business license. They want to help you. They want to make sure that they are supporting you in establishing your business. So just follow the rules that they're asking, follow the alignments that they ask you, and always say if they can also refer you to other organizations that can help you with this process. But they're amazing. The city hall is been every year they're making improvements. They're making the process as easier as possible, and once again they want to help you. So if you need support with that, let me know, or go straight to the Chicago City Hall 8th floor, and they can help you with anything related to your business license. The city of Chicago, they have a leader program. Leader program is for in large industries like manufacturing, and they have resources also for this kind of organizations or businesses. Of course, the Small Business Administration, you can go to sba.org. I'm sorry, sba.gov, G-O-V, sba.gov, and you have resources. You have also business plan. That's the business plan, the template that you will receive. They have the template. They can also help you fulfill the SBA. They give you guidance, etc. Also, there is another program that is called SCORE. They have retired CEOs and many volunteers that help in businesses, so they can be your business coach too. And also is a no cost or lower cost, something like that. And also the Chicago Public Libraries, they have a lot of resources for entrepreneurs. These are the website. You can take a screenshot, you can take a picture. But once again, you will receive this recording. You can see it at the YouTube page from the city of Chicago, and Illinois SOS.gov. They can help you to establishing your business. SBA.gov, IRS.gov, My Tax Illinois. So you want to pay taxes for the Illinois. USPTO for you want to protect your trademark. But once again, I encourage you to see legal assistance. SAM.gov, you want to make contracts with government. You have to register your business with SAM.gov. Once again, visit the City of Chicago website to learn about additional resources they have for the City of Chicago community members. They're amazing. Once again, they are constantly providing guidance, support, etc. for all the community members, which is something that I love about that. So the Small Business Administration. Um, these are some of the information where I get the information, how to write a business plan. Thank you. Thank you so much for your support. It has been amazing giving this webinar to you. Thank you for your attention, for collaborating, for being so interactive. I love that. And this is please visit our website 36business.org. This is our general phone number. If we're not answering, make sure you leave a message and we'll get back to you, or send us an email. By email is way easier, because with email I will be able to, like, for example, if I'm doing this webinar, can I say, oh, hello? Right, because it will be like Erika. But make sure you send us an email, and we will be happy to connect with you, assist you with anything related to your business. Follow us on social media, because we are posting on constantly, like you were offering more classes, webinars, any grants available. We post it on our website, we put it on our social media. Follow us like 36 for Business Incubator and Facebook. We're in Facebook and Instagram. And once again, the website, go to our website and you can click in the social media and they will link you over there. Now, any other questions? So let me stop sharing for a second. Thank you. You're so nice. Thank you so much. Uh, any questions? Uh, if you need, once again, if you need support with your specific business and you're not sure how to start it, feel free to send me an email. Please send me an email. Let's connect. We can connect via Zoom, so don't worry, you don't have to travel. But we can connect via Zoom to have an initial consultation. So once again, we can guide you. If I don't know all the answers, I wish I know. I can connect you with somebody that can help you. I will hand you with somebody. I'm not saying, oh, just go and look for this. Just connect to this one, and you are on your own. No, we're here to support you. Once again, the city is very super supportive with the community. And once again, the goal is that we support you in anything related to your business. So my email is, once again, erica36business.org. Put it in the chat. And for me, it's easier to connect by email, once again, because it's easier. At least in the email, I have a list that say, I have to connect with this person. Yeah, email you soon. Thank you. Thank you, Raul. We're bilingual, English and Spanish, so you need to support in Spanish. I'll be happy to help you in Spanish too. Um, there was a question in the chat. I'm not sure if I missed the answer, but I am curious as well. The one about initial funding period. Can you repeat the question, please, about initial funding? Once again, Renata put her information. Renata, do me a favor. If you are still here, please send me an email. So we can connect and have you as referral for other customers. And selling online. Once again, you need uh party business. I love that. Social service. Once again, yeah, let me know. I would love to get in touch with you and help you and guide you through your business. Anything that you need, just let me know. Once again, remember, you don't have to pay. uh, I had the general question. Funding request covers 6 months, a year, 2 years. Okay, when you're asking for funding, typically it's the first 6 months to a year, because they, if you're asking, for example, you are going to a bank, you say, well, I'm going to open my business, and I want, my goal is to open this business in the next 6 months to a year, 6 to 8 months, 6 to 10 years, 10 months, I'm sorry, 6 to 10 months. You can say, well, this is my goal, this is my financials, this is the income that I'm receiving, and my goal is to have this one and have it for a period of 2 to 5 years. Typically, is the loan, the longevity of a loan, business commercial loan, is typically to 5 years. But once again, they might be more flexible. They can renew it, that loan, if they need to. But also check. There are lenders that are specifically for a small business. Typically, you go to Chase. I'm not saying that they say no to all the businesses, but typically they reject many small businesses because they're looking for bigger loans. I say typically, okay? I'm not saying that they're, this is for sure. But there are loans for organizations, or lenders. For example, CIBC Bank, they work with a small business. Allies for Community Business is a nonprofit organization, lender organization that also can work with entrepreneurs who are starting their first time business. Also, CIBC, I believe they can lend you up to $10,000 if you are a startup. Um, Allies for Community Business, I believe between also 10,000 to 15,000, because not many organizations or lenders offer lending to small businesses, startups, right? Because they have no idea how you guys, how successful you're going to be. So they are putting this money in risk. But once again, CIBC is willing to work with you. Um, Allies for Community Business, the Women Business Development Center, also there are some. I believe they lend some funding too. Once again, there are many programs. There are many programs, and sometimes we offer also finding funding. So stay in the lookout. That's why I encourage you to follow us in the social media, because in the social media you will be able to find information about the grants, about webinars with more information. We bring experts that can help in different areas, etc. Okay. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Any other questions before we leave? Yes, there is going to be a women business luncheon that is going to happen on December 3rd. Please send me an email so I can send you the invitation. Once again, Erica at 36business.org. Send me an email and I will be happy to send you the invitation. Sorry, it's for women. But it's a beautiful. Once again, please visit our website, 36 www.36business.org, and you will be able to see some pictures of the past events that we have had. It has been beautiful. It has been amazing. But thank you so much, everyone. And if you have any other questions, will slides be available during or after the session? We will email you the slides along with the templates for the business plan. I am a web developer, but I'm transitioning into having an AI automation business for business to business. Good. Your organization is another accountant to provide pro bono services to your SBDC clients. Please let me know. Please send me an email if you would like to be pro bono, or you want to be part of our network of accountants or lawyers. Please let me know. Send me an email, please. I would love to learn more about your business, and to happy to connect you with other clients that might need your support. Okay. Okay. Thank you again. It was a pleasure having this webinar with you. We have fun. Thank you for being once again so interactive. I love it. And once again, if you need support with anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Okay? Or anybody from my team, or other SBDC, NBDC, Cook County, etc., etc. We're here to support you. Okay? Thank you so much. See you soon, and I hope you will stay connected. Okay? Bye.